Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. It goes without saying that the content of dancehall today is light years away from all the socially and spiritually conscious foundations of roots reggae music. That subgenre is today neck deep in the phenomenon known as slackness, which refers to lyrical content centered on themes of sex or violence. The younger generation might tie slackness to artists like Vybz Kartel, while my generation immediately think of Patra, Shabba Ranks, or even Yellowman as the flag bearers. But before these DJs came along, a super talented and slick toaster called General Echo single-handedly dragged naughty lyrics into mainstream consciousness. He was by no means the first, as lewdness had always been there, as the likes of Prince Buster unleashed tracks like Record Pum Pum in 1969. But General Echo took it to a whole new level by not just providing shock value or sales gimmick, but truly caused a massive shift in dancehall DJ culture from consciousness to slackness. In a popular interview from 2009, Yellowman, who was the first dancehall superstar and slackness icon, credited General Echo as being his inspiration behind his musical career. And when he placed that statement against General Echo's slick flow, outrageous sense of humor, and naughty lyrics, you begin to appreciate his enormous influence on not only Yellowman but the next generation of dancehall DJs that emerged in the 1980s, including the likes of Shabba Ranks. General Echo totally had it all. He had the looks, the poise, and talent to break into superstardom, as dancehall was beginning to crystallize as a bona fide subgenre of its own when he met his violent end in a horrific case of police brutality that provoked strong outrage till this day. His was a riveting story that more than deserves to be told. Now let's take a look at the life and times of General Echo, the master of slackness. He was born Earl Anthony Robinson at Maiden Lane in Kingston, Jamaica on December 8, 1955. He was raised by his dressmaker mother, Elma Robinson, as his father had passed away while he was still very young. His mother was a very strict lady and made sure her son got the best education she could afford, and she enrolled him at the then Kingston Senior School on King Street in Kingston. And it was in that institution that he would unlock his musical talents. That school had a robust musical department that nurtured the talents of quite a number of eventual reggae legends, including members of the Heptones, the Techniques, the Uniques, Derek Morgan, Marshall Griffiths, and many more. And that school gave Earl a strong musical foundation, but after graduating, he didn't go into music right away, but first got a job at an electrical company in downtown Kingston around 1972. After serving diligently on that job for about 3 years, he succumbed to the incredible musical energy that was exploding around him in Kingston in those times, and quit his job to form his own sound system called Ecotone Hi-Fi in 1975 at the age of 20. And it was from that outfit that he got the stage name General Echo. He would quickly make a name for himself in the streets for his sharp wit, slick delivery, sense of humor, and most notably, his very explicit lyrics. He was known to pause in the middle of his performance to tickle his audience with a joke or two before continuing, a technique that Yellowman would adopt and hone to perfection. His incredible skills saw him get noticed and invited by the owner of a sound system called Ray Symbolic to join his team, and over there he would expand his fan base even more over the next 12 months. He was now becoming a household name in Kingston as an ace DJ, and even recorded a few singles like International Year of the Child and Track Shoes. And all this caught the attention of Leon Johns, aka Big John, the owner of a big sound system called Stereophonic, and Big John would invite Echo to come over and join his outfit as one of the headliners, along with Stereophonic's lead DJ, Colonel Flux. In those times, Stereophonic was an elite outfit and is considered as being responsible for the rise of subsequent super sound systems like Kilimanjaro, Black Star, and Uroy's King Sturgav that would all rule the 1980s. Big John, Colonel Flux, and General Echo propelled Stereophonic to great heights, with Echo himself providing a huge boost, not only on account of his talent and slick delivery on the microphone, but his naughty lyrics, which audiences found very entertaining. He really pushed boundaries with his craft, and the fans loved it. To crown his exploits in live shows, he will soon get his first taste of breakout success as a recording artist with the track People Are You Ready in 1977. And for a long time, I thought that song was originally the handiwork of Tapazuki, who did a cover titled Oh Lord. And General Echo would release his first album, also titled People Are You Ready in 1978, and then a follow-up called Rocking and Swinging in 1979. But one interesting fact is that for all his Slack lyrics in live shows, his recorded material were clean up until then. But all that was about to change. Before the year was over, he entered infamous record books for being the first DJ to release an entire album dedicated to Slackness. And this album was aptly titled Slackness LP and was released in 1979 under producer Winston Riley's Techniques Records, an 8-track offering that was a perfect storm of material that I still find shocking 45 years after. Needless to say, he was by then a very extremely popular DJ, and his fearless boundary pushing would lead a whole new generation of toasters like Shabarangs to follow in his footsteps. And he followed up his Slackness LP with the more shocking 12 inches of Pleasure that was produced by soon-to-be legendary producer Henry John Joe Laws, and was another masterclass in lewdness. Interestingly though, his non-Slack material were always hits and more successful than his Slack ones. His 1980 track, Drunken Master, that was produced by Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare, became a monster hit. Not to mention, his biggest single, Arlene, that was produced by Winston Riley, went up to number 1 in Jamaica's charts. His more naughty material, like 12 Inches of Pleasure, did better overseas and was distributed in the UK by UK record label Green Sleeves. His music made a big splash in Britain and was heavily in demand, similar to the big demand that same market had for another Slack DJ in UK artist Judge Dredd. It all seemed to be an upward trajectory for General Echo. He was on the cusp of international breakthrough and was among the biggest DJs on the island. But the horrible tragedy was right around the corner. The year 1980 is considered as being one of the worst and the darkest in Jamaica's history. It was an election year, and political violence then was simply at an all-time high. And in those times, Jamaican police had itchy fingers and there were high incidences of brutality on civilians. So on Saturday, the 22nd of November 1980, General Echo, Colonel Flux and their boss, Big John, got into his car and headed out to go and check out a powerful amplifier that was for sale at the workshop of a sound system builder somewhere in Kingston. And on their way, while traveling on Derrymore Road, they were pulled over by some policemen at a checkpoint. In circumstances which are hazy up until this day, the policemen, after a brief exchange, aimed their weapons at the car and opened fire, riddling it with bullets, killing all 3 men on the spot. The news of Echo, Colonel Flux and Big John's death sent shockwaves through Jamaica's music community. It was barely 3 weeks to Echo's 25th birthday. Despite the brutal killing of these 3 public figures, no justifiable reason was ever given by the police. There have been numerous theories of what really happened on that dark day, with one popular account having it that the police saw a handgun in the car, assumed they were hoodlums, and opened fire immediately. Even if that was the case, the execution was inexcusable and a totally unforgivable crime. So General Echo's life ended before his incredible career could really rise to the next level. I have no doubt that if he had lived, that he would have become dancehall's first true international superstar, an accolade that Yellowman would bag 2 years after he passed away. But despite his sad demise, his incredible talent and style spawned and inspired a whole new crop and generation of dancehall performers that would embrace his Slackness formula to great success. I am definitely not a fan of Slackness, but I truly can't deny his amazing talent and groundbreaking innovations. And I also feel that there was a lot more to his artistry, and that all that naughty stuff would have given way to cleaner material as he matured and developed over the passage of time. But I guess we'll never know, and all we can do is speculate. So there you have it. Thank you for watching the video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.